On Thursday, Gareth Southgate sat down at Wembley Stadium to face the media for the first time since naming his England squad for the World Cup this summer. The headlines from his 23-man list broke before it was confirmed. No Joe Hart, no Jack Wilshere, and a chance for Trent Alexander-Arnold to show what he can do on the biggest of stages. The 19-year-old's inclusion showed Southgate will not wane in his devotion to giving the best players, regardless of age, their chance at international level. England's exciting squad will begin their preparation after the majority meet on Sunday, with those involved in the FA Cup and Champions League finals given time off before joining up, and will face both Nigeria and Costa Rica in friendlies before travelling out on June 12. Here are the best bits from Southgate's press conference. On not buying time with a young squad. I don't think when you are involved with England you can ever write a game or tournament off. Southgate adamant that youthful England squad is not ploy to buy time, that wouldn't be acceptable. We know that usually teams that win tournaments usually have more caps than we do, more experience of semi-finals and finals. That's what we've talked about with our younger teams. They need to be competing regularly in semi-finals and finals. That's where we want to head. That's what Germany have done over a number of years, Spain, Brazil, Argentina, too. They like where we are heading with the younger players. They see what the younger players are capable of. They probably recognize where we are at and need to give this team a bit of space. That's not me looking to buy time, because whoever sits in this chair in 6 months or 2 years, it is the right thing for England. Allowing these players to grow and fulfill their potential is really important. Browser runs through the 23 players selected by England boss Gareth Southgate for the 2018 World Cup. A disappointing season at club level, having been relegated with Stoke City, has done little damage to Butland's reputation on the international scene. Almost certain to be back in the Premier League with another club next season, the shot stopper will be in Southgate's plans for years to come. A couple of shaky moments in recent weeks, however, during a turbulent season on the blue half of Merseyside. The former Sunderland man has dragged Everton through games at times and is the most competent of English keepers with the ball at his feet, something Southgate values highly. A standout performer in a fantastic season at Turf Moor, the 26-year-old came in to replace injured Tom Heaton just 3 games into the Premier League campaign and has not looked back since. Unlikely to feature, but worthy of a spot on the plane. The Manchester United defender has not developed into the player many had hoped he would. However, he'll be one of the more experienced members in the squad and is able to line up in either a 3 or 4 at the back, something which will be valuable throughout tournament football. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola had done the almost impossible and improved Kyle Walker this season. The former Tottenham man has been one of the standout performers of the title-winning season and has shown for England when asked to play in a back 3. The last 12 months have seen Dier develop into a player more than capable of dictating a game from midfield. His versatility is also a massive plus for Southgate, with the Tottenham man more than capable of dropping into central defence when needed. While Stones is still prone to the odd mistake, he has come on leaps and bounds in the title-winning season under Pep Guardiola. Adept on the ball and comfortable in a 3, the former Everton man is a textbook Southgate defender. The Spurs left-back has endured a tough season in North London, having to battle back from injury before struggling to establish himself in Mauricio Pochettino's side again. However, on his day Rose remains one of the best left-backs in the Premier League and can be dangerous going forward as a wing-back. Kyle Walker's departure from Tottenham has allowed Kieran Trippier to excel in his absence, keeping summer signing Serge Aurier out of the side for the majority of the season. The right-back will flourish alongside his former teammate for England. With an almost unwavering focus on youth this summer, there has to be an older head somewhere. A veteran of European Cup finals and Premier League title-winning seasons, the Chelsea defender may not get too many minutes but can add valuable experience to the group. What a rise the Sheffield-born defender has enjoyed over the last two seasons. Following his emergence at Hull, Maguire has impressed following his move to Leicester and has taken his promotion to the international stage in his stride. A surprise call-up, but one that is more than deserved. The 19-year-old has struggled in a couple of games this season but impressed on the biggest of stages, starring in the run to the Champions League final. Not precisely one for this summer but an exciting prospect. Another who has transformed their game in order to return to a winning side. Delph has worked exceedingly hard to become an important part of Manchester City's record-breaking, title-winning team. Another exciting young player with a taste for the big games. Lingard has a fearless approach to many a game, but his hard work and tactical understanding is more often than not overlooked. Another statement of Southgate's devotion to younger players. An exciting player who has the ability to make the difference with one turn. Has battled through injury this season, but his presence is noticeable, can make a side tick on his own. A contender for the captain's armband this summer, Henderson may have had a limited role on the pitch with Liverpool this season, but he's been a vital voice in the changing room. A strong presence in the camp. The enigmatic playmaker has spent the last season proving doubter after doubter wrong with his performances on the big stage. After a slow start to the season, Ali looks his confident all-conquering self again. The Manchester United man looked done and dusted this time last year, but he has reinvented himself and has been a key man component for Jose Mourinho this season. He brings a level head and a wealth of experience, have been with United at their peak and through the recent struggles. Rashford has faced his first real challenges since his remarkable breakthrough ahead of Euro 2016, and taken them in his stride. Takes the same fearless approach as his Manchester United teammate Lingard in 2 games, and his pace and inventiveness will cause trouble for even the best defenses. The former Liverpool man looks a new player this season. Pep Guardiola has taken the forwards game to a whole new level and he can be a real threat either from wide, or through the middle. Welbeck heads to the tournament as England's top goal scorer in the 23-man squad. His ability to play either through the middle or off the wing can give Southgate more than one option off the bench. The Leicester striker has, almost under the radar, had another fantastic season. The display he put on up against Kane's Tottenham on the final day of the season proved his deadly touch, while his record against the biggest sides is remarkable. There are few strikers in world football who can lead the line like Kane. His reputation will have opposing defenders questioning themselves before games, while his talismanic approach can drag England through games. I don't see it as a gamble, and I don't think being free of inhibitions is gambling. It is being fearless in how we want to play, being brave enough to put them in and not look at them and think, he's the best player but he's young so maybe we should pick a lesser player with more experience. You do it accepting they will make mistakes, but I'll take responsibility for that because this is how I'll encourage them to do things. It is important for me to allow them to go and perform. On club rivalries getting in the way of success. It didn't happen in 1996 when we got to the semi-final, the best performance in the last 25 years, it certainly wasn't an issue. Why facing world's best at World Cup won't faze Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I started to see it a little bit towards the end of my time with England, and clearly from what those guys are saying it became an issue for them. So I think that could be a watch out if we felt that, but I don't see that with this group. Most of these lads have grown up playing together in the junior teams. I don't think at the moment we have that intense club rivalry between two clubs that has existed in the past. Maybe that could become the case in the few years as certain teams start to dominate. But at meal times they all sit together, they mix in with different clubs. There's obviously one or two who are closer to each other than they are the others. You rarely see Jesse and Marcus not holding hands or doing something. Divide. The likes of Ferdinand, Lampard and Gerrard have admitted rivalries cost England success. Getty Images, they get on, so that is a good start for me. Sometimes they get on too well. The next stage as a team is that they get on that well that they can start to pull each other, raise standards in how we train or get hold of each other on the pitch. Just getting on isn't enough, we've got to go deeper than that. On Joe Hart and Jack Wilshere missing out. Joe has been a big part of England teams over the years, a valued member of the squad, but of course in the end I've got to look at the performances over the last 18 months with the players' clubs. Wilshere accepts Zante lads' holiday invite after World Cup snub. In the end, the three lads we've picked have been the best three English goalkeepers in the league this year. Jack had a good spell in the lead-up to Christmas, and just after, he was not as effective towards the end of the season. The other guys played very well and deserved their place in the squad. On Pep Guardiola's influence on English football. I think he is in danger of having an impact on English football. I said to him I think he already had that at Barcelona, because when the Champions League was on terrestrial television, parents running junior teams would have learned from his team. Getty Images. When I watch kids football now, when they can get on the pitches, I see them playing from the back, encouraged to play, and I think that has come from Pep. Now he is having an impact in the way his team have played. He has been an innovator. We don't get off the island too often, so it's great we've had people come and help us. On Adam Lallana, I've had continual dialogue with Adam through the season, really close and personal conversations, because it's been a really frustrating season for him. PA, under normal circumstances, given the amount of football he's played, he wouldn't be anywhere near the squad, or the standby list. But he is a player and a person we have a hell of a lot of time for. And maybe giving him another 10 days, who knows what happens. He maybe has a big impact in a Champions League final and we have an issue and he can be part of what we want to do.